super excited you're here because today we're going on an incredible adventure together. Have you ever heard the story of David, the brave boy who faced a giant? Nope? Well, get ready because it's one of my favorites. Are you ready to dive in? Great! Let's go! Picture this. A peaceful land called Israel with rolling hills and fluffy sheep everywhere. Now meets David, a young shepherd boy, just like you might be at school or home. But David wasn't just any boy. He had a heart full of courage and a trust in God that was bigger than the biggest mountain. Can you imagine that? Every day, David took care of his sheep, keeping them safe and sound. He sang songs and played his harp under the open sky, thanking God for his love. Do you like singing or playing music? Maybe you can hum along with me next time. But David's job wasn't always easy. One day, a hungry lion crept through the grass, trying to snatch a sheep. What would you do if you saw that? David didn't run away. Oh no! He trusted God, grabbed his sling, and chased that lion down. He rescued the sheep and kept them safe. And guess what? Another day, a big bear came stomping into the field. Can you growl like a bear? That's good! But David stood his ground again with bravery in his heart. God gave him strength, and David protected the flock once more. Isn't that amazing? Now fast forward a little. One day David's father called him from the fields. David, he said, your brothers are off at war. Take this bread and cheese and go check on them. David packed up the food, gave his sheep one last look, and set off on a journey to the battlefield. Can you imagine walking across the hills, carrying a bundle of food, wondering what you'll find? David didn't know a giant was waiting ahead, but God did. When David reached the battlefield, he saw something that made his heart beat fast. There was a giant, a huge warrior named Goliath, marching up and down, shouting mean things at God's people. And everyone was too scared to fight him. David couldn't believe it. Why is no one standing up to him? He asked. God is on our side. Some soldiers heard David's brave words and brought him to the king. That's when David met King Saul. The king looked at this young boy and said, "You're just a kid. You can't fight a giant." But David told him, "When I was watching my father's sheep, I fought off a lion and a bear. And just like God helped me then, He'll help me now." David's words were so full of faith that King Saul said, "All right, may the Lord be with you." Then the king gave David his own armor, his shiny helmet, heavy sword, and big chest plate. But oh no, it was way too big. Have you ever tried on someone else's clothes and they were super baggy? That's what it was like. David couldn't even walk in them. So he gently gave the armor back, picked up his sling, and chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream. His heart was ready. His faith was strong. He was going to face the giant with God on his side. Then came the moment. David walked toward Goliath. The giant laughed and said, "Who is this little kid?" But David stood tall and said, "You come with swords and spears, but I come in the name of the Lord, the God of Israel." And then, swish, David swung his sling and let one stone fly, thunk, right into Goliath's forehead. The giant wobbled and fell. Boom! Can you say boom with me? That's it! David had won because God was with him. Everyone cheered and David became a hero. But even with all the praise, David stayed humble and always remembered to thank God. His story teaches us that no matter how small we are or how big our problems seem, God is always stronger. Thanks for joining me on this adventure today. I hope you feel super brave and ready to face your own giants. Whether it's a tough day at school or helping a friend in need. And remember, when you trust God like David did, you can do amazing things too. Can't wait to see you again for more fun stories about faith and courage. Until then, keep shining your light bright, friend.